Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Hello, creepy friends. It's better late than never. Welcome to Slams and Pops. And most importantly, welcome to December. It is time for another That Thunderbirds Girl thing where we go over Thunderbirds Are Go from the weekend and sum it up. And I have nothing but positivity to say about this weekend's episode, which was called Extraction. So you know, for a while I keep saying I love it when it's all the brothers together in a video. So this one totally proves me wrong, makes me look like an idiot, and shows that two brothers can hold the screen perfectly well on their own. And just wow, I just want to watch the episode again. I literally haven't even deleted it from the box, it was that good. So to sum up, there's a little father and son playing with a remote controlled Thunderbird 3 that they're sending up and flying around, and then they decide it's time to go, but then come across a really badly made hydromethane stealing machine and go to shut it down, go to report it, but end up trapped inside it and end up kind of the ground underneath is caving in. The dad's broke his leg, he's slightly in shock. The son keeps a pretty calm head and he's a pretty brainy little boy as it goes. So John's overheard the call looking for help, but he can't get through to them because now they're trapped and the equipment is damaged. So he gets in touch with John and Gordon, who are sitting around at home like they have nothing better to do with their lives. And he explains to them what's happened. For a minute they kind of go, is this something we need to do? And then when they find out there's people inside, it's like, yeah, this is right up our street. Now this could cause a sinkhole, devastation, make things explode because it's hydromethane and it's highly flammable. So yeah, just another day at the office for Thunderbirds. So off go Gordon and Virgil. Gordon is needed because he's possibly got to go underwater, and he has. Virgil is always just the cabbie. He's worked out that he and his dad initially are underwater. It's not entirely true, but they are within a water chamber. So Gordon drops down, goes underwater and begins to search, but keeps hitting dead ends and keeps failing to find it. Brains is trying to help him out, but he's not quite getting it. Meanwhile, above, Virgil is trying to cut away at the stealing machine that I can't remember the name of, and just trying to stabilise everything so that there's no more cave-ins and there's less danger. Gordon eventually manages to establish control with Aidan and his father, who are only in contact with them because, as I said, Aidan's like super nerd kid. He manages to remove a piece of his Thunderbird 3 aircraft and make a walkie-talkie device that John gets hold of and then puts through to Gordon, so now they can talk, yay! Eventually Gordon kind of rises up in Thunderbird 4 and realises he's got to carry on foot. Things are kind of like falling down over him when he lands in kind of this chamber of rock where he can see the piece that he's got to get at the machine above him. However, there's hydromethane everywhere, so initially my impression of it was, oh, he's going to get high because I got high. No. It's more a flammable thing. They've got to be very careful, so no lighting anything, no lighting matches, no doing anything that could cause you to blow to smithereens. After a few more cave-ins, Gordon does find our episode's victims and it works on getting them out. Obviously we know Daddy has a broken leg, he's slightly in shock, which his son's trying to deal with. It's a natural thing, you know, there's a big fright and then, oh, I've hurt my leg and it's probably broken in about 3 places. So shock is a natural thing. I've been through shock, I know what shock's like. It's not particularly pleasant. Gordon works on getting them down, but just when they're getting back to Thunderbird 4 and Virgil's thinking, oh great, we've done it, boom, everything goes red, it's gonna blow! So naturally, to keep everybody happy, just in the nick of time, everyone's in Thunderbird 4, Virgil gets clear, up goes Gordon, meets Virgil, they bring him back up and everybody flies away just as the thing goes poof. And an episode ends happy with no deaths, no catastrophe and just a big explosion. It's just a happy Thunderbirds episode. I love, first of all, that the little boy Aidan, he's flying Thunderbird 3. I think there's kind of an idea that if anyone's going to want a craft, it's going to be Thunderbird 1 or 2 because they're so primarily used as opposed to likes of 3 and 4. 5 is obviously constantly up in the sky and I don't know what KO's doing with her craft yet. Thunderbird S, is it? I think my brother always gravitated towards Thunderbird 1. Then again, he was always very, very influenced easily when he was a WWF fan and liked The Rock, whereas I saw Beyond The Rock. So it's a child thing, I think. Kid's hat, though, was so annoying. It was like here. It was like Claudia Winkleman's Fringe. You just couldn't see his face at all. It just hung there the whole episode, and I just kept thinking to myself, please take the hat off. Now please, someone correct me if I'm wrong, do agree. Did I see a model Thunderbird 2 on the set shots during this episode? I know we had CGI Thunderbird 2 mixed with real set, like we did with CGI Penny running along the set train, which I loved. I'm sure I saw proper set Thunderbird 2 in this episode. I could be wrong. Please correct me if I am. Oh, and it's official. Gordon is a newborn vampire too. When he's underwater, his eyes turn red. There's a mention in this episode as well that to make the Thunderbird 3 remote control model that Aiden has, he found an image of Thunderbird 3 on the net. To which Gordon replies, oh, well, we kept that secret well then, didn't we? This is the first mention of this kind of thing we've had since the series began, and it's something I kind of pulled up on, I think in one of the initial episodes. I think when they were, is it in Shanghai? I know it was a kind of Asian country. Scott was there, and I remember sort of him mentioning phones, and I said then and there, you know, how are they going to deal with the no pictures rule, the no anything rule? Obviously back in the 60s, Gerry Anderson, while he was very ahead of his time, couldn't predict mobile phones, couldn't predict digital cameras, couldn't predict a lot of the things now, satellite images, different things now where it's so easy to obtain a photo and a video of anything in the world. So this is the first mention we've had of what do they do now in this scenario. There could be an automatic camera detector, but Thunderbird 1 couldn't annihilate everything. Maybe they're just letting that idea go with this series. I think, as I say, it's kind of an admission that it's just too hard to control everybody. But there is one other thing that I was going to say. At the end of the episode, Brains suggests that rather than Virgil take Aiden and his father to the local hospital, they go back to international rescue to be seen to, because obviously broken leg and whatnot. Now I pulled this up when I said when Moffat was brought back to the base towards the end of the finale, the mid-season finale, and although Brains wants to meet Aiden because he's quite excited by his intelligence, breaking the rule of secrecy again because you're taking civilians to your base and letting them see your operation. I'm wondering where that's gone. I have to kind of, you know how I am, everybody knows how I am. If I see a point, I have to kind of pull at it and not exploit it, but kind of just mention it and see what people say, because obviously I'm a bit perceptive in that respect. In the original, to my knowledge, there were only a few civilians ever shown the international rescue base. Obviously we know that Tintin's friend come and they went underwater looking for certain types of fish, and that was when they had to kind of secretly release the craft, but he didn't know that they were international rescue. The two boys in Cry Wolf and the little orphan boy in the Christmas episode, they were brought to the Thunderbirds base and they knew that they were in the Thunderbirds base, but now I don't know how I feel about the idea of them bringing civilians to the Thunderbirds base. I think it kind of compromises them. So let's get back to the first point I made after summing the episode up. Why the hell was this so enjoyable? Quite simply, it's the perfect mix of an old-fashioned rescue mixed with everything that this series is good for that the original didn't have, and by that I mean the conversation, the banter, the emotion, all those types of things that we didn't get so much in the original that I constantly talk about. Such a well-made episode. It's got so much set use, equal amounts of CGI use, and it's phenomenally written. Whoever wrote this really got how to make a new age Thunderbirds episode, and I can't praise the writing. I think that comes from writer to writer. And I kind of sat last night and kind of started writing my own Thunderbird script for an episode, and you know, if you want to read it, that's fine, but it's currently just clocking away in here. I have an idea. It involves the hood, it involves all five brothers, and you know, Vixie Brain mentioned the banter, Verge, Gordo, Johnny, don't call me Johnny. Different little elements of sarcasm that only the adults will see, that the kids kind of go, we don't get it as much, but the adults will go, oh yeah, brilliant, yeah, we like that. It wasn't aimed at children entirely, it's aimed at every Thunderbird fan everywhere, and that's something I think we've had elements of that in past episodes. This one just hit the nail absolutely on the head perfectly. And to top it off at the end, you had the emotion of the little boy saying, I wouldn't want to lose my dad, and obviously then you have Gordon and Virgil in the front feeling that that's actually quite a little personal thing, because they are missing Jeff. You know, it doesn't matter how old you are. You know, I'm 26, my dad doesn't live with me, but I still miss the hell out of him when he's not here. This, quite simply, in a nutshell, was a fans episode, written by a fan, made by fans, for fans, new and old. And it just, there's just something so right about this episode that it's definitely, I think it actually beats the mid-season finale for me. And I didn't think I'd say that about an episode where you're missing, you know, Alan and Scott. You've got John, of course, and then you have Virgil and Gordon, but you are missing two other brothers, and obviously KO isn't really involved. I still don't really know what KO's doing as of yet. Obviously, whatever she did to Jeff is going to be in the finale, and it's going to bleed into season 2, but we'll get to that at the end of the series. I was so distracted by being so involved in the episode, I kept having to pause it to write notes because I was so like, so excited by everything that I was kind of losing my own concentration. And a lot of the times I can sit there and just type away as well as watch. I was so distracted by the magic of this episode that I got lost. And one more point I have to make before I go. It's taken me this many episodes to realise that the same man voices Gordon and Virgil Tracy. I did not know this. It was only at the end that I stopped to just make the final few notes, was watching the credits, and I just kind of sat there and was like, okay, I've got to make notes. And that was when I realised it was like, but they sound so different. I mean, it's like Nancy Cartwright from The Simpsons. You would never think that a woman voiced Bart Simpson, but she does, and she's incredible. They sound both so different. I would never have penned the same person doing that, but hey ho, I'm behind. Have a laugh. Ha ha ha. That was indeed Extraction. By far, I think, the best episode of the series. Well done, Thunderbirds Argo. You hit the nail. You made us all happy. Thank you for an amazing episode. Now can I please have a John episode? I have a few things coming up for the Christmas months. Like you can see, I've got a stocking up. Christmas Mania came to the house on Saturday, which is why I didn't record even though I could have, because I was busy working on trees and putting up tinsel and decking the halls with boughs of holly. Fa la 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 la. Ha! Got it out. I have no idea. I know there was a new kind of 36-second, I think it was, trailer released for the next few episodes. I'm kind of holding out hope that there might be a Christmas episode, but owing to the fact that I think the series was meant to run from April and not have a mid-season finale. Also, in that trailer, I'm sure I saw a real hand pressing something like Sylvia Anderson's used to do for Lady Penelope. I think I saw it. I think I had to pause it once or twice. I was like, is that a hand? Oh my god, they're bringing the hands in! Silly things please us old fans. Thank you for being here, everyone, and listening to me ramble on. 5 days of tin time ended up being one long tin time that doesn't want to process. So it is there. I think you can find it on the tin time section of this page, but it doesn't seem to want to process. I'm going to try and work out what the hell's wrong with that. Basically, I ended up so distracted last week with people being in the house that I had all the episodes recorded, but I just bled them all together and made them one big long tin time and then separated it by day so you know which day it was. It's just not processing. I don't know why. YouTube sucks. No, it doesn't. I will see everybody again for another Thunderbirds review. There's a couple more boxes to come, and I have some Christmas edition sets to open that I've recorded. If you're watching those, please bear in mind the furthest one back I got in September. So if the calendar says September, I haven't changed it. That's just when it was recorded, and I haven't used it because I thought I'd wait. So just to not confuse everyone, I will see everyone again for more randomness on Slams and Bobs. Bye from that Thunderbirds girl.